MGTV, η ομογένεια κοντά σας.
The Hellenic American Educators Association, and we're here to celebrate Greek Letters Day in conjunction with the Thrisiarachie. They represented intellectuality at its peak, and they wrote beautiful, beautiful prose and poetry. So we are here to do poetry readings. And the poetry readings can be either from ancient Greeks or modern Greek, Kavafis, Elitis, Palamas, etc. So our people will be reading, and afterwards our audience members can ask questions or make comments. So we're here to celebrate the Thrisiarachie. So thank you for joining us today.
Πόσα members είσαστε τώρα?
We were founded in 1974 by Dr. Nick Spanakos. He placed an ad in the UFT newspaper asking for Eastern Orthodox teachers to join. And since then, we have been very active. We have events every month.
Distinguished guests, I'd like to introduce Kyrios Vasilis Philippou, the Ambassador General Council of Cyprus. Thank you. Andriana Filiotis, representative of the Federation of Hellenic Educators. Thank you. Daria Hatziagianou, Office of the Education of the General Council of Greece for New York City. Thank you. Louis Katsas, Professor of Cooper Union. Where are you? Thank you. Vasiliki Piliotis, President of the Hellenic of Pedia. Thank you. And Demi Savopoulos, President of Haia. Where are you, Demi? Thank you.
Χαιρετίζω λοιπόν τη σημερινή συνάντηση και θα ήθελα ιδιαίτερα να συγχαρώ όλους τους εκπαιδευτικούς, στους οποίους ανήκει η γιορτή των γραμμάτων, για το σημαντικό έργο το οποίο επιτελούν παρόλες τις δυσκολίες που αντιμετωπίζουν και για τη συνεισφορά τους στην παιδεία του τόπου.
Η ελληνική παιδεία είναι ό,τι μας κρατά ελεύθερους μέσα στον χρόνο. Τα ελληνικά γράμματα είναι το θεμέλιο και το εφαρτήριο μας για να επιβιώσουμε σε αυτή την αχανή χώρα, αφού καθημερινά έχουμε να αντιμετωπίσουμε τα κύματα της αφομοίωσης και η ελληνική παιδεία, τα ελληνικά γράμματα που σε λίγες μέρες θα εορτάσουμε, μας δίνουν την δύναμη να κρατήσουμε τους εαυτούς μας όρθιους και ελεύθερους μέσα στον χρόνο, μέσα στα κύματα της αφομοίωσης αλλά και της αποξένωσης μας, και είναι θαυμαστό σε αυτή την αχανή χώρα έχετε πετύχει να κρατήσετε μέσα από τα σχολεία, τις οργανώσεις σας, τα ποίηματα σας, τα βιβλία σας, τη συγγραφική σας δραστηριότητα, την ελληνική γλώσσα αθάνατη, ελεύθερη, και σας αξίζει χαιρετισμός τιμής και εκτίμησης. Κάθε καλό.
Εις πάσαν την γην εξήλθεν ο φθόγος σου, ως δεξαμένος των λόγων σου, διού Θεοπρεπώς εδογματίσας, την φύση των όντων ετράνωσας. Του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος.
The first piece goes to our Lord God and Savior Jesus Christ.
First one goes to
The
President.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Vice President Adrian.
Thank you. Bless you. Happy New Year.
Treasurer Mary Stell.
God bless you. Happy New Year.
And then we have Viola Valvis.
Okay, Viola. God bless you.
Okay. And then we have our moderator, Dimitris Siatos.
Okay.
Consul General of Greece, the Consul General of Cyprus, the President of Pedia, and Andriana Filiotis.
Andriana, God bless you, my dear.
Την ευλογία σας, oh my God!
Andriana.
Wow! Beautiful.
Θα αρχίσουμε με τη Demi, θα διαβάσει We Are the Greeks by Dinos Makropoulos. Demi.
Thank you. These three luminaries of the church have shed the light of the faith all over the world. They have scorned dangers and persecutions, and they have left us their beautiful legacy of poetry and stories, everlasting in the presence of God and of all the saints. So we are here to celebrate this wonderful occasion. We have some wonderful poets who are going to be read.
Το πρόγραμμα σήμερα με Demi Savopoulos θα διαβάσει We Are the Greeks, Dinos Makropoulos. Demi.
Spread by the wind all over the seas. Second, third generation Greek youth, wind bearers of heritage. Second, third generation Greek youth, spread by the wind all over the foreign lands. Second, third generation Greek youth, wind bearers of our church. We are the poems. We are the poets. We are the Alexanders. We are the Hellenes. We are the descendants, the apostles. We are the successors. We are the heroes. We the Hellenes. Δευτέρης τρίτης γενεάς Ελληνοπούλα, ανεσκορπίσματα της θάλασσας. Δευτέρας τρίτης γενεάς Ελληνοπούλα, ανεμοζώματα κληρονομιάς. Δευτέρα τρίτης γενεάς Ελληνοπούλα, ανεποσκορπίσματα της τρίτης γενιάς Ελληνοπούλα, ανεμοζώματα της εκκλησιάς. Είμαστε εμείς τα ποίηματα, εμείς οι ποιητές. Είμαστε εμείς οι Αλέξανδροι, εμείς οι Έλληνες.
Είμαστε εμείς οι συνεχιστές θαλασσοπόρων.
Είμαστε εμείς οι απόλυτοι Απόστολοι.
Είμαστε εμείς απόγονοι ημιτέων.
Είμαστε συνεχιστής. Είμαστε εμείς
συνεχιστές των Οδυσσέων.
Είμαστε εμείς οι ήρωες. Εμείς οι Έλληνες.
Ήμουν 7 χρόνων ορφανό παιδί που είχα απομείνει σε ένα μικρό χωριό στη Λακωνία. Όταν η κηδεμόνα μου, αναγκασμένη, ειδοποιήθη από το δάσκαλο και ήταν αναγκασμένη να με δηλώσει στο σχολείο, διότι εγώ δεν είχα γεννηθεί εκεί, αλλά όσο το έμενα ήταν ανάγκη να μάθω, να γράφω και να διαβάζω. Η αρχή ήταν δύσκολη, γιατί η κηδεμόνα μου δεν μου αγόραζε τα απαραίτητα τετράδια.
Οι περιπέτειες του Άρη, το εκπαιδευτικό fairy tale. It's an educational fairy tale. Το εκπαιδευτικό παραμύθι, I'm forgetting to read. Ari is a handsome and smart teddy bear. Very playful. He loves the children and wants to learn every day as much as he possibly can. He was very young when he started to say that he also wanted to go to school. He would ask the children who returned from there to tell him what the book said that they carried. Do not rush, your parents will tell you. As long as you are young, they take care of you. When you grow up, you also will come to school. There you will also have other parents. God bless our educators. This book is the translation from the original Greek. It's called I Stood Solidly Upon My Dignity. A woman raises her spirit in everyday life. Hell, where is it? And it's a biography, but within the literary work, she began to free write and didn't realize that she's also a very good poet. And she tells you, get up, my soul, get up and dance. Raise your hands up high and move your body, strong soul of mine. It's enough, my soul, that we revel for this sorrow and the other.
A town in southern Greece by Titos Patrikos. This town has crippled me, just as long ago a town might have crippled me with its barracks and empty factories, its black walls topped with broken glass, its narrow streets, treeless, dry, and its swarthy, salty women, mobile, fluid, with coal black eyes, olive skins lightly perspiring, just enough for transient, fleeting love on a shadowy, half-deserted seashore with their stones, tar, rust, and thorns. This town cures me with its nights, the nights of my country that never change.
Next reader will be Patricia Yurovit. She'll be reading two poems, Dance by Kostis Palamas and Sweet Smelling Rose by Kostis Palamasaglo.
So I'm going to read the first one. It's called Dance. From end to end a dance, both moves and binds all worlds, with rhythm's golden chains. Your body, a silent hymn holy. Ritual of both flight and bonding, graceful lady. All around dancing from you, with you, the flowers, your gentle hands sprinkled on us, the evening ripple in the distance, certain songs carried into the poet's memory and Shakespearean images. Caressing the poet's fancy as if by magic, Ariel, my beauty, when you were born a star, danced in the heavens. And this one just totally, really, my heart, I hope I don't cry. Sweet Smelling Rose. This year, the hard winter beat me down, caught me with no fire and my youth gone. And hour after hour, I looked to sink deep in the snow-filled street. But yesterday's March laughter made me bold, and I went out to find the ancient footpaths again. And at the first sweet scent from a distant rose, tears filled my eyes.
Then we'll follow up with Vasiliki Filiotis Aries Review, and followed by that, Adriana Filiotis Aries Review.
Την κυρία Πολύμνη Μανολάκο. Από όλο το βιβλίο που το έχουμε πάρει πιο πολύ και το έχουμε δώσει και στα παιδιά και στα σχολεία μας και είναι πάρα πολύ διδακτικό. Και ήθελα να αναφερθώ σε μια κριτική που έκανε η Γεωργία Φιλιώτη, η οποία δεν είναι σήμερα εδώ, καθηγήτρια, πρώην συντονίστρια στο προξενείο και τώρα στα Ηνωμένα Έθνη αντιπρόσωπος. Έγραψε ένα πολύ ωραίο γράμμα στην κυρία Πολύμνη για το θέμα αυτό και θα σας το διαβάσω. Θερμά συγχαρητήρια η κυρία Πολυμάνου. Προλίγου ήρθε στην προσοχή με ένα πολύ καλό παιδικό βιβλίο γραμμένο και στις δύο γλώσσες, στην ελληνική και στην αγγλική, με το τίτλο «Οι περιπέτειες του Άρη», The Adventure of Aris. Εκπαιδευτικό παραμύθι, Educational Fairy Tale, που εκδόθηκε και κυκλοφόρησε πρόσφατα. Είναι ένα καλογραμμένο βιβλίο ώστε να διαβάζετε με άνεση, με ευχαρίστηση και ελκυστική εμφάνιση για μικρούς και μεγάλους.
Την πρόεδρο του ΧΑΙΑ και την κυρία Βασιλική Φιλιώτη της Ελληνικής Παιδείας για τη διοργάνωση αυτής της όμορφης εκδήλωσης και όλα τα μέλη. Γιατί είναι ένας σήμηνος για τα ελληνικά γράμματα. Και όπως προχωρούμε αυτές τις μέρες να γιορτάσουμε την εορτή των τριών ιεραρχών, ήταν η πιο ωραία συγκυρία σήμερα και σας συγχαίρομαι. Σας ευχαριστώ στη βοηθεία των λουλουδιών. Στη Νέα Υόρκη έζησα μία ιστορία που σαν αυτή δεν έχετε διαβάσει άλλη φορά. Γι' αυτό απεφάσισα να τη γράψω σαν ένα βιβλίο, για να μην ξεχνάτε φίλοι μου, όλα τα βιβλία γράφουν για ιστορίες, που μερικές είναι ευχάριστες και διδακτικές. Σας συγχαίρομαι, το βιβλίο σας πράγματι είναι διδακτικό και είναι πηγή έμπνευτης και δημιουργίας. Συγχαρητήρια.
Greek poets who was born on April 29, 1863, died on the same day, April 29, 1933, in Alexandria, Egypt. He considered himself from Constantinople by descent, but his home was Alexandria, Egypt. Cavafy, interestingly, was almost unknown in Greece until 1963. In 1968, with the publication of 75 unpublished poems, he became the major literary event of that year in Athens, Greece. Cavafy's poetry, for all of their candor, deal with regret, longing, trapped and walled-in lives, and the need to belong. In his poem, there is no explicit reference to himself, yet with every poem of Cavafy, we cannot help but think of him in each of his poems. In this poem, I Polis, the city, the protagonist cannot escape Alexandria. It is his albatross, his sexuality, his heritage, his haven. Alexandria haunts him throughout the poem. He has wasted his life, as we all sometimes have, to an extent. There is no other city to go to turn over a new leaf. And I'll read it first in Greek, and then the English translations, Edmund Keeley, who was a renowned Greek scholar. All right. Η πόλης. Είπες θα πάγω σε άλλη γη, θα πάγω σε άλλη θάλασσα. Μια πόλης άλλη θα βρεθεί, καλύτερη από αυτή. Κάθε προσπάθεια μου μια καταδίκη είναι γραφτή και είναι η καρδιά μου, σαν νεκρός θα μένει. Ο νους μου, ως πότε μες στον παρασμόν αυτόν θα μένει. Όπου το μάτι μου γυρίζω, όπου και αν δω, ερείπια μαύρα της ζωής που βλέπω εδώ. Που τόσα χρόνια πέρασα και ρήμαξα και χάρασα. Καινούργιος τόπος δεν θα βρεις, δεν θα έχεις άλλες θάλασσες. Η πόλη θα σε ακολουθεί, τους δρόμους θα γυρνάς τους ίδιους και στις γειτονιές τις ίδιες θα γυρνάς και μες στα ίδια σπίτια αυτά θα σας πρίζει. Πάντα στην πόλη αυτή θα φτάνεις, για τα αλλού μη ελπίζεις, δεν έχει πλοίο για σε, δεν έχει οδό. Έτσι που η ζωή σου ρήμαξες εδώ, στη κόχη τούτη τη μικρή, σε όλη την γη την χάρασες. Now the English, the city. You said, I'll go to another country. I will go to another shore. Find another city better than this one. Whatever I try to do is fated to turn out wrong, and my heart lies buried as though it was something dead. How long can I let my mind molder in this place? Whenever I turn, wherever I happen to look, I see the black ruins of my life here. When I spent so many years, wasted them, destroyed them totally. You won't find a new country. You won't find another shore. The city will always pursue you. You will walk the same streets, grow old in the same neighborhoods. You will turn gray in the same houses. You will always end up in this city. Don't hope for things elsewhere. There's no ship for you. There's no road. As you wasted your life here in this small corner, you destroyed it everywhere else in the world. Our next reader will be by Siti, Gekla, and Demi together.
Can I just, I
Yep.
want to go first.
Okay, the decision by Manolis Nostakis.
Before that, what I'd like to do, 1933. As Dimitri said, he talked about trapped in lives, regret, and longing. And he was also for his frank treatment of homosexual themes, also his esoteric and vivid sense of history, and his astute cynicism about politics. And it's called Candles. Days to come stand in front of us, like a row of lighted candles, golden, warm, and vivid candles. Days gone by fall behind us, a glowing line of snuffed out candles. The nearest are smoking still, cold, melted, and bent. I don't want to look at these. I don't want to look at them. Their shape saddens me. And it saddens me to remember their original light. I look ahead at my lighted candles. I don't want to turn for fear of seeming terrified. How quickly that dark line gets longer. How quickly the snuffed out candles proliferate. This is called The Decision by Manolis Anagnostakis, 1925 to 2005. And he fought for the Greek resistance during World War II. And in 1948, he was sentenced to death for his involvement with the Communist Party. His sentence was later commuted to a prison term. He was a leftist all his life. He was awarded the State Poetry Prize in 1985 and the State Literature Prize for his lifetime literary achievement in 2002. And it's called The Decision. Is anyone familiar with this poem, The Decision? Okay. It goes as follows. Are you for or against? Either way, answer with a yes or no. You've thought the problem over. I'm sure it's giving you a lot of trouble. Most things in life are troublesome. Children, women, insects, noxious plants, wasted hours, difficult passions, rotten teeth, mediocre movies. And this will have troubled you for sure. Speak responsibly then, even if it's just a yes or no. The decision is yours. Of course, we don't ask that you stop your activities or interrupt your life, your favorite newspapers or discussions at the barbershop, or your Sundays at the stadium. One word only. Go ahead then. Are you for or against? Think about it. Think it over carefully. I will be waiting. And on a note of optimism, one more thing.
Yeah, okay.
Ode to Greece. It's from The Flowers of Devotion. I'm not going to tell you the date until after I read the poem. Okay. In the shade of a tree I slept, breathing deeply, but with a heart full of sadness, because the welfare of Greece, her great power, weighed on me. Then through my drowsiness, I heard a voice. Rise, awake. What listlessness, what sleep is this? What sorrow makes you lie here, grief-stricken? I woke to see Athena herself, addressing me with candor from on high. Time cannot wither Greece's past glory, because wisdom is perennial. This was written in 1708. An omen. Okay, thank you so much. Now Dimitri is going to introduce us to you.
Okay, we have the last Rashastenia, Marianthi Raptis, θα κάνει ένα διάβασμα. Correct?
Εθνικής μας πολυγενεσίας. Η μέρα αυτή μας καλεί να αναλογιστούμε τόσο στο θρησκευτικό όσο και στο εθνικό χαρακτήρα της πανηγύριος. Εκείνο το οποίο ξεκίνησε στην Αγία Λαύρα των Καλαβλίδων κατά την 25η Μαρτίου 1821, χωρίς υπερβολή, συνιστά ένα θαύμα της πίστεως των ανθρώπων εκείνων πήραν τα όπλα με το ένα χέρι και με το άλλο κρατώντας τον Τίμιο Σταυρό και έχοντας μέσα στην καρδιά τους ακράδαντη πίστη για το δίκαιο του αγώνα τους, για την ελευθεριά πάντα με την βοήθεια του Θεού. Αλήθεια, πώς έφτασε το γένος των Ρωμιών τη στιγμή αυτή και κυρίως πώς κατάφερε να διατηρήσει την εθνικότητα και πνευματική της ταυτότητα ύστερα από 400 ολόκληρα χρόνια κάτω από την πίεση του κατακτητή. Είναι γιατί ο Έλληνας δεν μπορεί να ζήσει σκλαβωμένος τώρα και ποτέ. Γι' αυτό με τέτοιες καρδιές και παλικάρια σαν την ελληνική ψυχή η Ελλάδα ποτέ δεν πεθαίνει. Κάθεσπρο για σεμί, να κόψω ένα κλαρί για να στο δώσω αύριο μέσα στην εκκλησία, νυφούλα, σαν τα καμαρώνεις, μέσα στα μεταξωτά μπροστά στην Παναγία. Τα μάτια μου σαν πέσανε πάνω στη θωριά σου, το άρωμα και η ομορφιά η τρίκα είναι δικιά σου.
Χαίρετε, καλή χρονιά σε όλους. Δύο ωραία ποίηματα. Εγώ θα γυρίσω στα δημοτικά μας, τα οποία είναι και τραγούδια. We talked about poets and their poems, but I'm going to turn to our traditional poetry, which is mostly expressed in Greece in songs. If you want to listen to some music, I will do it. And I selected the 5 songs for which Maurice Ravel wrote music for piano and voice. He selected the one that I was playing before. It didn't sound very good. It was actually, the beat was like Bolero by Ravel. You know, the beats didn't work very well here, but that's where it was. I want to read a little bit of how he wrote these songs. In 1904, there was a gathering that was about in France. He was French, right? It was a lecture on Greeks and Armenians presented by Turks, persecuted by Turks, that was supposed to be presented at the École des Hautes Études Sociales in Paris in 1904. Someone had the idea to add a musical accent to that presentation. Ravel was given a volume of songs collected by H. Pernod on Chios, the island of the massacre immortalized in a famous painting by Eugene Delacroix. You know that, right? Yes. Ravel undertook the precarious task to fulfill it on time. The result, the unforgettable cycle of 5 Greek folk songs, is something of a pendant to somebody's names here, Kirpi songs. Anyway, the authentic melodies are supported by the piano accompaniment, highly economical yet highly expressive. It has been performed many times by many lyrical classical singers. They have been performed, and I recorded some. Their recordings are not very good. Most of them I took from YouTube, and they are old. I have copies of these poems and the Greek, but the lyrics are not very similar all the time. Τα λόγια διαφέρουν από το ένα στο άλλο, κάθε έκδοση των τραγουδιών είναι διαφορετική. Σαντούρι. Το πρώτο ήταν πιάνο, right?
be honest, this brings back a lot of memories to me personally. Number one, the only teacher that I remember from elementary school was actually my Greek teacher. That's the only name I remember from elementary school. Her name was Kyria Vrioniudou. And at the time she taught, which was, when she taught me, let's say it was 55 years ago actually, or more. And I remember she had a classroom that had from grades 1 through about 8. She had 80 students in one classroom, and she would go section by section and actually teach them. And she taught them in Katharevousa at the time, because that was the language basically that was being used. It is true when I was younger, I was half listening because I was raised basically in the United States, and quite frankly, when I was very young, these things didn't affect me in any way in terms of the Greek language, etc. As a matter of fact, the only time my father ever hit me, was when I cut out of Greek school, and basically the teacher called him Kyria Vrioniudou. Maybe that's why I remember her. So when I got home, my father said, "Where were you?" I said, he said, "Well, you were in school." I was sort of like hesitating, yeah. And that was the only time he hit me. Not so much, I think, because I missed Greek school, but because I embarrassed him, quite frankly, and also that I told a lie. That was the last time I told a lie. Education is obviously very important. I have taught at Cooper Union for the last 20 years in the School of Architecture. I also have taught at NYU for about 20 years also. My subject matter is technical. On a personal level, my wife was an educator. She's an attorney now, but she was an educator. Dr. Katzos, she was the principal, actually, of the Cathedral School. She was instrumental at the time in getting the school accepted into NISIS, which was the only school, Greek-American school, in the city that was accepted to NISIS. My son is a professor in Dubai. He's a law professor. Oh my and my daughter, who's an orthopedic surgeon, also teaches surgery to medical students. When I was young, again, I didn't have those feelings for next I was being raised in the United States, I was being raised in Brooklyn. But as I got older, it became very important. Hellenic education became very important to me. When I reached a certain age, I wanted to find out who I was. I did a lot of reading when I was a child. And basically, when you're reading books, and you learn about the classical history, which is what normally students in the United States would read as Greek students, or Greek people, let's say. I would read about these people, and then I would see my parents. And then at some time, and my parents being from Laconia, who didn't, okay, because we are laconic, it reached a certain point where I wanted to find out my culture. And the first influence was when I went to Greece. And when I went to Greece, basically, it was a complete shock to me, because I was reading all these books about the ancient Spartans, etc. On occasions, I decided to be an ancient, because I'm from Sparta, I decided to be an ancient Spartan, so I would be lifting weights, etc. I would be walking in the snow barefoot, because I felt the Spartans were, they were clothed in the winter with a certain thing. When I went to Greece, I was almost in a culture shock to a certain degree, because I was active. So that experience in Greece when I was about 16 years old caused me to go real deep into the culture. And many of you know me, obviously, from some of the cultural events that I actually do. Even though I'm a professor in the architectural school, I do a lot of cultural events. I have had this past year the first National Hellenic American Genealogy Conference. And we're going to do another one in Chicago in May of this year. And I also moderated events in Greek Independence Day, March 25th, Orchi Day, and things of that nature. When it comes to Greek history, I am very well versed in Hellenic history. I'm a person of the diaspora. And what you are doing is extremely important. Extremely important. And your message has to get out. Your message has to get out. When we did the first Hellenic American Genealogy Conference, we had people flying in from we did it here at the Cathedral. We had people flying in from all over the country, from California, from Oregon, from Florida, and many of you, by the way, some of you also were at the conference. One of the most interesting things to me was the hunger that people from the second and third generation had to find out about who they were, about their culture. And that struck me as being something that's, that was very, very interesting. And since I am involved in Hellenic genealogy, besides a lot of other things, I find there's a tremendous yearning to find out about their culture. And our culture is very important. Today I was sitting down with someone, we were talking about something, he mentioned the Indians. I said, oh, the Indians? The Cherokees were Greeks. and I know you're laughing, but Google it. Google it, okay? Google it, the DNA of the Cherokees, for example. These are interesting things. The DNA of the Cherokees is from the Eastern Mediterranean. And if you Google it, you'll find out that the researchers found out that they actually spoke Greek, and they were from the Eastern Mediterranean originally, okay? Interesting scenario. We talk about Chios, okay? Who discovered America? Columbus. Who was from Chios? Columbus. Okay, we talk about Napoleon. Napoleon, Bonaparte, etc. He's a descendant, actually, of the Maniatis. And as a matter of fact, when Napoleon sent the Stavropoulos brothers into Mani, they came in and said, "We're here from Napoleon to speak to our people to help us in our cause." Of course, the French gave the Maniatis some weapons, and then, of course, the Ottomans attacked the Maniatis. But that's a separate issue. There's a lot of very interesting scenarios. Even tonight, I was fascinated by meeting someone from Argentina, and and
welcome.
Yes, and then she was speaking Greek. I figured, you need those. So I started speaking. So I start speaking to her, and then I find out her background, etc. And find out she loves the Hellenic culture and language. And I asked her, "How are you learning your Greek? Who's teaching you?" And she said, "I'm learning my Greek by myself." Fantastic. And she speaks Greek very well, and some of the things that she uses is in fact the music, the Demotiko music, and the Laika music. And I said to her, "Τα ρεμπέτικα?" And she said, "Ναι, εγώ είμαι ρεμπέτισσα." Τι ρώτησα, χορεύεις το ζεμπέκικο? Και αυτή είπε, "Ναι, μάλιστα, είναι πρώτης." So here's what I have to say as an ending, okay? There are many facets of our particular culture, different organizations. I myself am the president of EMCA, which is the East Mediterranean Business Cultural Alliance. I do have both business events and cultural events. So there are other organizations like my own. I want us all to connect. In other words, I want a synergy between the various organizations so we can help each other out. And there's many ways to help each other out. For example, we're going to have, as I said, the second Hellenic American Genealogy Conference in Chicago. We are going to do it at the National Hellenic Museum. We are, in fact, going to have, besides genealogists, we're going to have authors also. I spoke to Harry Petrakis yesterday and asked him would he be interested in attending an event. He said if my health holds up, he's more than interested in attending the event. We are there. I'm speaking to Frangos also from the Ethniko Kiriga, okay, to speak at the event. And other Greek authors, Bilinis, who has written a lot of Byzantine works, Byzantine history works, and he will also be at the event. So those are some of the events that we're going to do, and also we're going to have musical events. Last year I did the 10th year anniversary of Yakovos' death, and we did a musical tribute, and we had a multicultural event where we had, besides Byzantine music, besides psaltes, we also had a group from Harlem, gospel singers, and we had a Judaic group, okay, from the Hebrew Union College that sang. So our culture basically links up with everyone. And very soon we're going to do, actually in April 14th, and I'm going to invite you to go to that event. We're going to do the East Mediterranean Harlem Blues. We're going to have American blues, and we're going to have Hellenic blues. What are Hellenic blues? Rebetika. Okay, so we will have groups playing playing the blues, the African-American blues, in the same stage with the rebetika, and we're also going to get an Arabian group to play oud and all that type of music in terms of their particular blues. So these are the type of collaborations that we can do, and you as educators are the forefront of this particular thing, and I want us to help each other in any way we can. When you were reading the poems reminded me of my youth. It reminded me when I actually would buy a book and it would have the Greek poems on one side and it would have the English poems on the other side. As a matter of fact, I think it was a penguin, Greek poetry, etc., and it would have both on each side. And as a child, I would love to read those type of things. So keep up the great work. Thank you for inviting me tonight. This is fantastic.
Thank you for coming.
It will be at St. Peter's, okay, which is on the City Corps building at the bottom.
Yep.
It's a fabulous venue. It's a fabulous venue.
Where in Queens?
No.
No, it's in Manhattan.
On Lexington Avenue.
What?
57.
The sponsor will be EMCA, East Mediterranean Business Cultural Alliance. We're sponsoring. But we will raise money, and that will be for the Syrian refugees. Okay?
Yes.
Among the Syrian refugees are our people. The Rum Orthodox are in fact our people who over time spoke Arabic. They are Hellenes. They are our people. So we're going to support the refugees by this event.
On February 25th, and we're going to have a book discussion, Mikra Anglia. March 16th is our Greek Heritage Celebration, and we're having someone speak on the Greek and Roman influences on New York City's architecture. And in March we celebrate our Greek Heritage celebration. And we had our 40th anniversary in November in Long Island City at the Riverview Restaurant. So please join us. If you know any other public school teachers, please join us. Please support us. And we're looking forward to growing our membership. My email is deme62003@yahoo.com. And please join us. We're looking forward to having you at our future events. Thank you. On behalf of the Hellenic American Educators, we'd like to thank MGTV for their support and for being there for us, and also for our photographer for today, Michael. He's always there, and he's always been very good to us. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you. If you'd like to join us, the Hellenic American Educators, we are public school teachers, and my email is deme62003@yahoo.com. Thank you very much for supporting us.
MGTV USA. Οι δραστηριότητες της ελληνοαμερικανικής κοινότητας με βίντεο και πλήρες ρεπορτάζ. Επισκεφτείτε την ιστοσελίδα μας mgtvusa.com. Καλύπτουμε καθημερινά τα γεγονότα στην Ομογένεια. Επίσης, αναλαμβάνουμε την κάλυψη των εκδηλώσεών σας, γάμους, βαπτίσεις, παραγωγές διαφημίσεων, ντοκιμαντέρ. Τηλεφωνήστε μας στο 718-908-8729 ή επισκεφτείτε μας στο διαδίκτυο mgtvusa.com.